Welcome to a comparison video between the two Tomodachi Nations Bandai SH Figuarts, the Captain America Avengers Endgame, and Captain America Final Battle Edition Avengers Endgame. So both of these are their latest figures for Steve Rogers. So the one on the left was released last year and the one on the right is the Final Battle Edition released just recently. So I've done the reviews for both of these figures, so you can check the links in the description below after this video. So let's first take a look at their boxes, and last year's version is a very simple and clean look, which resembles the Quantum suit, but I do prefer this year's version. It's gone for the old design with the character at the front. Also really like the purple and navy blue colours, really matches well with the Avengers Endgame theme. And if we take a look at the sides, you can see that there's more pictures on the Final Battle Edition. On the back, it's pretty similar. So we're going to be taking a look at their armors, the accessories, whether the accessories are compatible, the Steve Rogers head sculpt with some of its previous figures, and also look to bring in the Marvel Legends Captain America version as well. So now let's unbox the figure and first take a look at their armors. So here are the two figures out of its packaging in a neutral pose. Obviously at first glance you see the difference is the Steve Rogers head sculpt has been added on to the Final Battle Edition. So before I begin with the two armors, I want to switch up the Steve Rogers head sculpt with the helmet version. Now when you do take it off, you have to remove the full neck as the sculpt is overlapping onto the neck for the helmet version. So I'm just going to remove the Steve Rogers head sculpt and place the helmet version on. So now let's begin with the comparison, starting off with the colour and overall look of the suit. So the one on the left is last year's original version. You can see the colours pop out slightly a bit more. It has that all navy blue suit, pretty much your standard Captain America, a clean and simple look. Whereas the one on the right is the Final Battle Edition, so it's meant to be the battleground version. It does have a navy blue suit as well, but in some angles it kind of looks like grey because it has a more dirtier and grittier look to it. It kind of looks like dust on an action figure, but of course we know that it's just the effects. As for the head sculpt, they are pretty identical. Maybe the helmet of the Final Battle Edition is slightly darker, but I'm not sure if you can really catch it on camera. And the skin tone is slightly different as well. In terms of the height and body proportions, they are pretty identical again. I wouldn't be surprised if they just used the same exact mold of the figure. So the only difference is the color paint. And if we take a look at the arms and hands, you can definitely tell there's a difference in color. So that was just a quick overview look of both of the action figures. We can now move on to the accessories. For the first part of the accessories, they are the same, and this is pretty much standard for your SH Figuarts Captain Americas. We have 3 sets of alternative hands, the parts for throwing, blocking and connection to the back, as well as the shield itself. Obviously for the Final Battle Edition shield, we have a dirty and grittier look which matches up with the armor. And here is where the difference is for the accessories for the Final Battle Edition. We get the Mjolnir, the Mjolnir effects, the alternative hands to hold on to the Mjolnir, and a broken shield. For the alternative head sculpts, the Final Battle Edition this time includes 2, the Steve Rogers head sculpt which you saw earlier on, as well as a in-battle aggressive version. Whereas the original Captain America only had a head sculpt which is very similar to the standard one, just eyes looking to the side. So I definitely prefer the Final Battle Edition head sculpts, especially the aggressive face, as you get a lot more character as well as dynamic poses. This is very similar to the Age of Ultron SH Figuarts version. And in case you're wondering, the head sculpts are in fact compatible with each other. So the Steve Rogers head sculpt and aggressive version can be fitted on with the original. I am going to bring in the SH Figuarts Civil War Captain America, as this one also had a Steve Rogers head sculpt. I am discounting the Infinity War version for now, as we can all agree that was pretty bad. So for the Civil War version, I must say that it's a pretty good sculpt. It probably resembles Chris Evans a lot more than the Endgame version. I know it's from a different time, different movie, but if I had to pick a winner, I'll probably go for the Civil War version. So unlike the Iron Man Mark 85, where the new Final Battle Edition head sculpt of Tony Stark was better, I'm going to go for the old one this time. And they have released a full version of the Steve Rogers head sculpt in the upcoming Endgame Cap vs. Cap. And based on photos, that actually looks better than this Endgame version. And the same applies for this one, as both the aggressive and Steve Rogers head sculpts fit on the Civil War armor. So is this year's Final Battle Edition an improvement to last year's version? I'm going to say 100% it is. Because when I picked up last year's Captain America, we got our pretty much standard figure with the shield. But I said that for improvements, we needed a battle damaged armor, a battle damaged head sculpt, a head sculpt like he's roaring Avengers Assemble, a broken shield, a Mjolnir, and the Mjolnir effects. And this year's version, they've given us most of that, apart from the bloodied head sculpt. But I guess for kid purposes, they couldn't really do it. I know that Imaginations had to release it before they even watched the movie, so I guess I can't really blame them. So what is your opinion of these figures? The Final Battle version has a lot more, but is it worth the upgrade if you already have the original version? I also think that the original version isn't bad, but if you already have the Age of Ultron or Civil War versions, it's only the suit that's the difference. Whereas when you think of the definitive look for Captain America, especially the Endgame, you think of the Mjolnir and broken shield. I also think the aggressive face sculpt is a big plus. I also want to bring in the Hasbro Marvel Legends Captain America Endgame version, because to me this is a great figure and may even be more of an Endgame figure than the original Captain America SH Figuarts. Not only do we get the Mjolnir and a damaged shield, we also get a darker shading on the suit, as well as a Steve Rogers head sculpt. Quality wise, the SH Figuarts is better, but in terms of my favourite, I would put the Endgame original version in third place. The runner-up be the Marvel Legends, and the one that's worthy is the Final Battle Edition. So unlike the Iron Man Final Battle version, where it can still be improved with the gauntlet and damaged armor, I feel this is their best Captain America to date, and probably worthy of saying Avengers Assemble. So that is the full comparison of the Captain America action figures for Avengers Endgame. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and also check out the links below for the other reviews and comparisons. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.